welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic.
Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy at the request of Patreon subscriber CC Antman, and this is Grixis Spider-Man. Online, we have to play Uheris the Storm Spinner because we have to go through the Omen paths, but let's look at this actual card. Courtesy of Moxfield.com real quick. Spider-Man 2099 is the real-life version of Uheris the Storm Spinner. You can't cast Spider-Man 2099 during your first, second, or third turns of the game, so we've got a little Sarah Avenger and Jace Plot Jace action here. We've seen this on some cards before. It's a 2/3 with double strike and vigilance, and at the beginning of your end step, if you've played a land or cast a spell this turn from anywhere other than your hand, Spider-Man deals damage equal to his power to any target. Okay, so what does this card ask us to do? It asks us to play a game where we don't mind having a creature until turn 4. It asks us to buff his power, and it asks us to cast spells from places other than our hand. CC Antman has put this inside of a Grixis shell. I think there is another way to do this where you drop the black and just go, is it Blitz? I think Spider-Man / Uheris alongside Slickshot Show Off Plot is a way to cast spells from outside your hand. Slickshot and Uheris both benefit from buffs. They both do a large output of damage all at once. That's a way to go. And we've got some versions of that in here, but we also have black cards just to respect the Legacy format. There's some obvious Legacy stuff in here. We've got Thoughtseizes, Tamios, Brainstorms, Ponders, Force of Wills. Those are all there, of course. And let's talk about the cards that are unique to this deck. Escape Velocity and Reckless Charge do kind of the same thing. Reckless Charge, 1 mana sorcery, target creature gets +3/+0 and gains haste until end of turn, and it has flashback for 2 and a red. This is a card that makes Spider-Man bigger, lets him fight on the turn he comes in. A 5-power double striker out of nowhere is pretty serious, and in the end step, 5 balls something. If you've cast a spell from your graveyard. If he flashes back on him, you're in business. Escape Velocity, similar thing. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and has haste. It's a 1 mana enchantment, and it has escape for 1 and a red, plus exile 2 other cards from your graveyard. Those tap into the graveyard area. That is not our hand where we could cast spells. We've got Demonic Ruckus. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1, menace and trample. Menace, trample, vigilance, double strike is a lot of words on a creature. And plotting this, that will trigger Spider-Man. Plot is another place where spells can come from that's not our hand. We've got Scalding Viper alongside Brazen Borrower. Little split here. It's possible 3 Brazen Borrowers just better, but we're trying stuff. We all know Brazen Borrower, Petty Theft, bounce target non-land permanent. Scalding Viper has the same adventure, except it's a sorcery. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. But this is actually a little different because you can target your own stuff. Petty Theft can only target an opponent's thing. And then on an adventure, when we cast the creature side, that's a spell from somewhere other than the hand. Brazen Borrower, of course, 3/1 flash flying. Scalding Viper, 2/1. Whenever an opponent casts a spell with mana value 3 or less, this creature deals 1 damage to that player. Legacy's full of spells like that. This is some passive damage. I'm into it. Because passive direct damage is also part of our plan here. We've also got Snapcaster Mage, giving anything flashback. We've got Distortion Strike. Target creature gets +1/+0 and can't be blocked this turn. Unblockable is obviously messed up on a double strike creature just to begin with, and Rebound is another way to cast a spell from somewhere other than your hand. Cling to Dust. Escape. We already have one escape card, now we've got another one. This one respects the Legacy format. Cling to Dust is common in Grixis decks in Legacy in general, and it has escape. We have a super late game option to trigger Spider-Man. Dragon's Rage Channeler, Tamio, and Nethergoyf are all here. Nethergoyf also has escape. These are 1-drops that can get the opponent interacting. We don't really want them to be able to cast their first removal spell of the game on turn 4 when we invest in Spider-Man. We want to make them respect some stuff that we're doing already. but we're also not a blazing fast deck, so a card like Delver doesn't make a lot of sense. Dragon's Rage Channeler also fuels the graveyard, finds that escape velocity, finds that reckless charge, gets us in business, fuels up Snapcaster Mage. There's a Reanimate in the deck. CC Ant-Man had Unearth in this spot, and every time I play a deck like this, the comments are full of people asking me why I'm not playing Unearth because it hits every card in my deck. Well, sometimes I want to hit cards in my opponent's deck. We're a Thoughtseize deck, and Reanimator is the top deck in the format. If I could get an Archon of Cruelty 1 out of 100 games, this is better than Unearth. I'll take it. And there it is. We are kind of a mid-range Grixis deck with a combo burn finish. Let's try it out. I'm on the draw in round 1 with a pretty hateful hand. No real threat, but I am going to keep. I like Thoughtseize and Nile Spellbomb versus the format well enough. Bloodstained Mire. Well, we're in the right ballpark. Let's see if I get a turn. Okay, Nethergoyf. That means they are not Reanimator. I think I want to Thoughtseize them here. And then I can go Tamiyo plus Spellbomb next turn. Yep, Daze is fine. That's why I led on Thoughtseize and not Tamiyo. Underground Sea is in. 2 damage from Goyf. No follow-up there. We are against a Wasteland deck, but I've got lands. Nile Spellbomb's in. I do want to save that till it draws a card. Wasted. Okay, they didn't attack with Nethergoyf, which is really honest. Like, Tamiyo can't kill that guy. And if they just, like, have an instant, like they... Or, I guess, Daze, they do already have an instant. Yeah, I guess they're not really bluffing anything by attacking if instant's already in the graveyard. I still appreciate the honesty. And I'm not super interested in Orcish Bowmaster here, but I'm still going to draw a card. Alright, cool. I didn't get Bowmastered. Now I have to decide if I want flipping Tamiyo to be an option or red mana. I'm not in a hurry to flip Tamiyo. And they don't have a Bowmaster. I'm fairly confident at this point. I'm just going to play Thundering Falls. My own. Alright, my Nethergoyf touching butts with their Nethergoyf. That makes Nile Spellbomb into a removal spell. I like that. The opponent's surveilling. Kept the card on top. I'm going to crack a clue now when I know they don't have a Bowmaster. That does open me up to Daze on my Force of Will if they do something I have to react to here. Wasteland. That's fine. Takes out my red. I've got lands. That's not my concern with this game. Old Schmirky. This is a 4/4. I am worried about this card. I'll try to fight over it. Disappointing. Alright. Cracking that clue playing around Bowmaster just cost me 2 cards. Right, let's see what I can push back in their direction here. I can Nethergoyf and Escape Velocity targeting it. Or I could flip Tamiyo. Flipping Tamiyo makes Murktide bigger. Yeah, Tamiyo dies here regardless. I think I have 3 bounces. I have Scalding Viper, 2 Brazen Borrower, and then I have a Sheoldred's Edict, which doesn't get around Nethergoyf. Lightning Bolt's not going to kill this thing. I think I just want to cast Nethergoyf and not put Velocity on it. There's a second Izzet Surveil land in the deck. Gotta solve my Murktide problem here. If they attack with Murktide, next time Tamiyo can attack without dying, which lets me bank clues without falling apart. Another Goyf. No blocks here. Finding even like Brainstorm lets me block for a turn. Thundering Falls. Clean to Dust. I do not want that. That makes Murktide bigger. And I already have their graveyard under control. It does draw a card at instant speed though. That can let me block Murktide for a turn. No, I'm not interested. There's other ways to do that. Scalding Viper. We did it. We're in business. Okay. I can bounce Murktide here and even replay the Viper. Right. Steam Clean. Bounce Murktide. They need Force Blue card here. They do have Force Blue card. Disappointing, but okay. I'll attack with Tamiyo. And again here I'm going to draw a card before they can Bowmaster me. Thoughtseize, not great at this phase of the game. Brainstorm. Yeah, I'm in the awkward spot now where if I Nile Spellbomb them to take power off the Goyfs, Murktide gets all that power. Like currently the Goyfs represent 2 damage on board, and bombing them represents 3 damage that I can't block. Still can't block. What the heck is this? Oh, I'm getting Bowmastered. Oh, that's disappointing. So now I am on a 1-turn clock. I need to find one of my other bounces, and now drawing cards is bad for me. Okay. I'm probably just gonna have to take my medicine here and dig. Attack with Tameo. Spell Bomb you first, I think. That uses the least mana. Distortion Strike. That's not lethal, is it? Doesn't look like it. Alright, Murktide gets significantly larger. And crack a clue. Reanimate, lol. Alright, dead to Murktide Regent. Well, dead to playing around Bowmaster. I had the tools there to beat that thing. We also drew multiple Force of Wills in a matchup it's bad. But, you know, whatever. Okay. Pyroblast, Barrogoyf, Orcish Bowmaster comes in. Force of Will's bad here. Isle Spellbomb's still useful. Reanimate could be more Barrogoyfs. This deck plays Lightning Bolt instead of Fatal Push because it is kind of a burn deck. That's a little not great. I think we're actually pretty good against the card Murktide Regent. It just they had the Force Blue card on the turn it mattered. I like Cling. Do I need this many Thoughtseizes? I do kind of like Thoughtseize. I have to play a medium length game here. And I'm on the play. I don't think Thoughtseize is better than any of the cards that I already have in. My deck's full of weirdos like the Escape Velocity and the Demonic Ruckus. I'm trying to let the deck do its thing. And hasting up a Barrogoyf is pretty serious. Or giving it Trample and Menace. Okay, I'll keep. Wasteland strategy not ideal for this hand, but I'm a 3-color deck in Legacy. I'm going for it. Volcanic Island, Dragon's Rage Channeler. Here's the half of my deck that has threats in it. Opponent hasn't seen this one yet. Underground Sea, Ponder. Big Barrogoyf, I like that guy. And I'm going to attack and leave up Bowmaster for the turn, or Lightning Bolt. I'm not going to just main phase Scalding Viper. I think I'm going to end step bolt them, just get to work here, get some value out of Dragon's Rage Channeler. If they Bowmaster in response, I can untap and Bowmaster theirs. This helps me hit my land drop, which I care about. Leave Polluted Delta on top, that's great. And it's my turn. Oh no, not Orcish Bowmaster. That kills my Channeler. Play around Daze here, Bowmaster you back. I am just main phasing that. Don't give them any window to get clever there. There is not a Badlands in the deck. Not that I necessarily think there should be, but there isn't. Wasteland. Nethergoyf. Racing me off red. That's actually my preference because I have 2 red Surveil lands and I don't have any black Surveil lands in the deck. Red Surveil land, Thundering Falls. Ooh. It's his time. Alright, I'll put that on top. Do I bank the Spoodler here? Or do I get the Spoodler going? Yeah, I think so. Alright. Uharis the Storm Spinner. The reason for the season has arrived. Dead to Fatal Push, smaller than Murktide, but I do have Scalding Viper for Murktide. Opponent watch me miss a land drop there. Oh, if they have another Wasteland, it's bad. Not a Wasteland. Shelter's Edict, yep, sad. It was briefly there, part of our lives. That's an Edict that's not targeting Barrogoyf, though. Yeah! What do you think of this? More Spider. I would certainly prefer I wasn't taking 4 damage a turn while this other stuff was happening. Undercity Sewer. Dumped a Polluted Delta. Played an Underground Sea. I could get Kaito'd here, which would not be great, but I can't afford to block. Here it comes. Yep. At the structural level, we're just playing against a deck that has a similar plan to our own, but fewer colors and is more focused. Okay, they tap 3 mana, then change their mind. Alright, yeah, hitting with Nethergoyf does more damage. This makes sense. Kaito still can do everything it would do, but I took 4 instead of 3. Surveil 2. That trick there, for those who don't know it, is a creature is still attacking until combat ends. Alright, I mean, I can kill Kaito here, theoretically. If I bounce Nethergoyf, steam clean that, and then attack Kaito for double strike. Alright, cool. That could have been worse. Nethergoyf's back. 5/6. Now there's a dead Planeswalker, that's unfortunate. Barrogoyf also 5/6. Can I Distortion Strike for the win? Oh, Escape Velocity, that's so close. Okay, this Escape Velocity does let Uharis trade with any of these Goyfs. I don't really want to trade with Barrogoyf, though, if I'm being honest. I'm a mana short of dealing 6 to Barrowgoyf in the end step. I can make Uharis's power 3, or I can trigger it. I can't do both. I guess Scalding Viper can block. I don't want my own Barrowgoyf to get dazed, but I might have to put it onto the battlefield here. I could have haste next turn, but I could also get wastelanded this turn. I think I want Scalding Viper to come in and at least just chump block Barrowgoyf for a turn. I'll deal 2 to my opponent's face here. 2 to you. Orcish Bowmaster. Haha, take 1. Got him. Very dead. I have to chump block and I have no other plan. All right. Yep, they're just more focused at doing the same thing we're doing. The game 1 where I had Escape Velocity in my hand when I just needed some sort of card, this is why you generally build your deck to be full of cards that are good, even when they're not doing exactly what you want. But we're trying to make something work here, so I don't mind getting picked apart by a matchup built to kind of chew up decks like mine. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the play in round 2. I recognize my opponent's username as a combo player. At least I think so. Like the little tickle on the back of my brain says, this is a combo player. I'm going to invest in this Nile Spellbomb and hope it's useful against whatever they're doing. Seed of the Synod, Mistress Bauble. Okay, this looks like some kind of 8-cast something or other. Thoughtcast. Lotus Petal. Mox Opal. Tameo. Okay. Yeah, I would have kept that hand too. They could actually flip Tameo on my upkeep or their own upkeep with the triple bauble. Okay, baubled themselves. Baubled me, seeing Reckless Charge. Let's go. Behold. I wonder if that'll make them pump the brakes on flipping their Tameo. Like, do you want a Planeswalker with the shields down versus potential haste? Yeah, they stopped. They might have been stopping anyway, but that might have actually changed their play. Force of Will. I do like that one. I can brainstorm here and change my hand quite a bit. I don't think I want to. Land number 3. I will put that on top. There's a good chance I just cycle off the Nile Spellbomb this turn. Their deck probably has Emery in it. But other than that, I don't expect a lot of graveyard action. Alright, they saw the Reckless Charge again. Or maybe I have 2. They'll never know. They can flip Tameo by cracking a Clue this turn. A hasty 5/5 double strike could clear Tameo 2 turns out from now. Saga. Spellbomb. Oh no, my nemesis. How do I ever beat an Aether Spellbomb? Alright, Tameo's flipping. I will Spellbomb them now to draw the card. I think I'm going to brainstorm here. They can't Metallic Rebuke. I will play my land first, just in case. Brainstorm. Dragon's Rage Channeler with haste is a game. Alright. Put these 2 back. Fetch. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Reckless Charge. This will have Delirium because Reckless Charge is a sorcery. I can at least cost them their Lotus Petal here if they want to save Tameo. Lotus Petal and Spellbomb gone. Let's Uharis cook in the future. Attack Tameo. It's actually really important because Spellbomb using Lotus Petal turns off Mox Opal here. Yeah, that was a big turn. I assume their 6-card hand can get it back on somehow. But that was real pressure. Second Saga. So they can make a construct and have 1 mana left over with Opal. They know Charge has Flashback. They don't know I have land number 4. Thoughtseize. Interesting. Alright, well, Reckless Charge costing 3 on the Flashback is a significant cost. I can put 5 damage on Tameo. It's not even fully lethal. They can start tutoring Graveyard Hate here. I think I want to Thoughtseize and develop Spider-Man. Jesus. Alright. Nadu Pinnacle Emissary. Okay, so I'm about to get Nadu'd if I don't take this. Yeah, good read to Thoughtseize there. About to get Shuko'd out of here. Polluted Delta. I think I'm going to go Euharis, Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay, Underground Sea, Blue-Red. I would love for this Distortion Strike to survive the turn cycle, but I will pitch it to Force if they force me here. Right, force pitching Emissary, force pitching Distortion Strike. I'm all in, but opponent has Tamiyo active and multiple Urza Sagas running. They've already tutored Aether Spellbomb, but I have to imagine there's a Graveyard Hate thing they could grab here, which would be really good. 4/4. And that Distortion Strike would have been so good. Curses. Many curses. Yep, Soul Guide Lantern's going to hit Reckless Charge on the way in. And then they can bomb me in combat, which eats my Dragon's Rage Channeler for free, because I have to fight with it. I need a big effect right now. No blocks. Lightning Bolt isn't the worst thing that there could ever be. I could at least set Tamiyo back, but I'm still just dead to these constructs. They're attacking me for 12 next turn. Okay. What can I mill over? If I Dragon's Rage Channeler, Surveil, but the Soul Guide Lantern's still there. Alright. I'm gonna bolt Tamiyo. If I mill over the Escape Velocity, Snapcaster, so I have to chump die. Okay, I still lose. That was way too much to keep track of. Tamiyo, triple Urza Saga, and Nadu. No thanks. Meltdown's good here. Pyroblast pretty good. I could see Barrogoyf, Bowmaster, Consign, all being useful. Null Rod, useful. It's asking a lot of me, deck. Okay, Cling to Dust. I think Meltdown's, Pyroblast, and Null Rods have to come in, and then these other 6 are maybes. I think Demonic Ruckus has to go. I actually like the bounce spells. Lightning Bolt I'm kind of side grading into Pyroblast. It makes it harder to go upstairs, but if their creatures are 4/4 plus constructs, this card is not going to help me. I like the bounce, I like the blitz of Distortion Strike. Reanimate probably doesn't matter here. That could get me... I think I want Bowmasters more than I want Consign, and then I want Barrogoyf also more than I want Consign. I don't mind one Nile Spellbomb in case they have Emery. So I am bringing in Null Rod, which turns off Nile Spellbomb, and I'm bringing in Answers to Emery, though I'm bringing out more Answers to Emery than I'm bringing in. I think I need Force of Will versus what they're showing me, this Nadu angle to the deck. Okay, I'm going to try it like this. I will keep my hand. I'm going to spend an investment turn getting Thundering Falls into play tapped. Is that even right? Does that make sense? No, I'm going to play Dragon's Rage Channeler first. I can still ponder the same next turn, and then if I hit a black card that I want to cast, it's better. Petal. Bauble. Thoughtcast. So this opening hand looks really powerful, but they don't actually know what it does. Like, they had Thoughtcast, Bauble. That's a... Spending 3 cards to draw 4 cards is... They end up, but it's also like, you know, what did you do? What does your hand do? What's the keep? I like that one. I think this will be better later. I'm going to start with Ponder and see where that takes me. Takes me into my own Tamiyo. I'm going to Graveyard Tamiyo. I'm looking for mean stuff. Okay, a Ponder and an Escape Velocity. All right, draw Ponder, put Escape Velocity into my graveyard for freezies. And I am a card type short of good attacks, so I won't make them. They bobble me and see Ponder. They've drawn 1 card already. Cavern of Souls. Cracking a clue with it. Yeah, Tamiyo, Nadu, and Emery are all wizards. I haven't seen a second color yet. I mean, I've seen Mox Opal and Lotus Petal, but I haven't seen a land that makes a second color yet to suspect Flame of Enor. I feel like that's doing more than the shell can support. If they already have a Nadu line in there. All right, the Re-Tamiyo. Ponder. Force of Will. I guess I'll put that on top. Force Bowmaster. And I could play Bowmaster right now. I could also surveil Bowmaster. Oh no, I already have a creature in the graveyard. Definitely not surveilling Bowmaster away. I do not have an instant in the graveyard yet. If I surveil away this force, that does play. Okay, I am not going to shuffle, and then I can ponder, dump a force, and draw the other force. Force to the graveyard, that's Delirium. I like Brazen Borrower. Okay, Brazen Borrower, Scalding Tarn, Force of Will, don't shuffle, Thundering Falls, dump the Scalding Tarn, and then have to attack. And they're going to block because my creature's too small. But I am geared up for next turn. I can Uharis plus Escape Velocity with Force backup, and I can do that without losing Delirium. I'll still have creature instant land sorcery in the graveyard. All right, second Tameo attacking. They can't really go crazy here drawing cards because then they'll just Legend Rule their Tameo. Okay. Or they can buy back Thoughtcast, cast it, flip into a different Tameo immediately. I don't mind that. That's just a lot of wheel spinning. All right, there's Thoughtcast. So new Tameo will flip. Another Thoughtcast. Meltdown's good for 3 permanents right now. The Seed of the Synod, the Clue, and the Opal. Right there. Pedaling out another Opal into another Tameo. Okay. All right, let's see if I can do the thing here. Uharis the Storm Spinner. Escape Velocity targeting this guy. Exiling 2 sorceries because I have 3 of them. I get a Surveil. I think I like Brainstorm being in the mix here. Ooh, we are cooking. Okay. I'm going to attack Planeswalker Tameo with both of these. They lose Tameo no matter what here. They actually lose both Tameos. Oh no, because the -1 will last the turn. So I'm only throwing 2 damage around at the end. They're going to lose Planeswalker Tameo no matter what. They can just decide if they want to lose Creature Tameo with it or not. Though if they decide not to lose Creature Tameo, then they're taking a bunch of damage upstairs. All right. I will deal 2 to my opponent. Cool. We did it. We did a Spider-Man thing. Right, Tameo makes another clue. Can't block. The spider doesn't have reach. It's the only one in history. Don't fact check that. I'm sure there's a lot now. That used to be what spiders did. We used to be a country. Uh-oh. There's a green. Oh, Nadu's here now. That one's not trivial to defeat in combat or any other way. I guess my plan here is to Petty Theft Nadu and then Meltdown with Force backup. Right, Petty Theft Nadu always feels bad, but here we go. Flipped an Urza Saga, just the best card I could ever hit. I wish that was Seed of the Synod. All right, dumping Dragon's Rage Channeler. I'm ready for the showdown here. Force pitching Brainstorm on your force. Get another Surveil. I don't want Volcanic Island. Nadu's back. I'm going to Meltdown now. I want this to be hard to pull off. Thoughtseize into the graveyard. Attack for 9. And the goal is to burn them out, I guess. That won't be easy. And Shuko comes into play next turn. A land's actually not bad because it gets me a Lightning Bolt off Brazen Borrower. Uharis only triggers in my end step. I don't get to play Brazen Borrower on their turn and get paid. Second Cavern. So that is a big feature of the deck. It's not just like they had one last game. Looks like they're turtling up for Nadu time. Okay, this land gets me Brazen Borrower. Alright, I am going to go to combat. Attack my opponent. And this construct's going to come in as 1/1. Bowmaster. Deal 1 to the construct before blocks. And Spider-Man / Uharis only cares if I've cast a spell. It doesn't care if it resolved. Which means this Brazen Borrower is going to put my opponent to 1, and then we'll see if I can beat Nadu. Alright, end step. 3 to you. We know they have Nadu. We suspect there's a Shuko in the deck. They have to do this from 1 life, though. No more Force of Wills. No Ancient Tombs. Oh, they made the construct. So they must have a land in hand. Okay. So they're going to get 4 flips. They can't draw cards. Nadu, off you go. Metallic Rebuke. Dismember. No thanks for that one. Urza Saga's in. And Emery. That's the end of the road. Heck yeah, we did it. Spider-Man 2099 did a lot of damage that game. All right, what can I change or adjust or upgrade here? That's a lot of Cavern of Souls. Can I put my faith in Force of Will at all? I still have all my Thoughtseizes in, and Force of Will proactively does help. Like defensive Force of Will, like holding it for Nadu doesn't make sense here, but using it to shove Spider-Man in does make sense. I could go less of it and have Barogoyf involved. But if they get Nadu going, Barogoyf doesn't matter. But I do like Barogoyf a lot versus fiddly little Emery draws. Escape Velocity MVP. We did it. We did the thing. There's a lot of Tamios in that deck, and the Emrys. And if it comes down to a showdown like that, maybe -1 Force of Will, +1 Lightning Bolt. And where do I get my other bolt from? I could technically cut a land. I don't need my basic lands versus this deck. They're not attacking my mana at all. 19 is still reasonable for a Brainstorm, Ponder, Dragon's Rage Channeler deck. Yeah, I'm going to try cutting a land here. That's never bit anyone in the butt before in history. All right, Island, Ponder, Keep. Opponent rolled a 4. Their deck doesn't seem like one that would have a nut draw on 4. Like, there's no LED Echo. All right, yeah, so they're all in on Tamiyo. And I have the Pyroblast to kill Tamiyo. Tamiyo is their source of ongoing artifacts, which means that if they bobble me, they might not have any mana. I'm going to pass into my opponent's turn. I'm going to Pyroblast in the upkeep, see if I can... Yeah, I got them on the hook for a bobble. That's great. That's what I was trying to do by waiting. I'll let the bobble resolve in case it reveals Pyroblast. It revealed Scalding Turn. All right, I'll destroy Tamiyo. Now they might not have any mana. If I just kill Tamiyo, then they know to hold. Wow, okay. I mean, tough mull to 4 in a match that was otherwise slugging back and forth pretty hard, but I mean, holding on that Pyroblast until the end step, I would have, and going in their upkeep's the same. There's no value gained or lost because I know they're hellbent. I don't have to worry about what they might draw. That might have actually won or lost the game, or won or continued the game, that timing of the Pyroblast. On to the next one.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play in round 3. Island, Ponder, Keep. I'm in. And I think I'm going to basic Island, Ponder here. Developing Tamiyo is good too. But if Ponder does its job and finds the second land, then I can Tamiyo with Brainstorm up to turbo flip it. All right, that's 3 things that aren't lands. Shuffle that. Found Snapcaster Mage. Oseju. Birds of Paradise. So probably a dedicated Nadu deck this time. Big Rips. Blue land, blue source. Ponder. All right, well, I'm pondering again. Yikes, deck. Shuffle. Jesus. All right, well, sometimes you look at literally 7 cards and miss on a 19 outer. This is the small percentage fail case of cantrip decks. But whatever, this is why we play 3, and the game's not over yet. It's not literally. It technically looks pretty bad. Urza Saga, Birds of Paradise. Urza Saga is usually not in Nadu mid-range. I wonder if this is like a devoted druid deck. Those are not very popular, but that would make sense for the pieces we see. Distortion Strike, that's just what you want to see. Brainstorm, just show me 3 lands. Wow! The worst run bad you could ever imagine. All right, I'll put back 2 Spider-Men. I don't need 2 of those. Then I have to go to cleanup. I'm going to discard Nethergoyf. That could put my opponent on the scent that I'm just Demure Tempo. If they crush me this turn, just combo me out. That means they have to think about Force of Will and Daze. Zenith for 2. I would counter anything here, so they can safely guess that I have nothing. And I can't actually win this game anymore because... Oh, no, Brainstorm. I do still have a Brainstorm in my hand. I would have to Brainstorm past the Spider-Man I know is on top of my deck and hit land removal spell. All right, Brainstorm again. Well, there's a land. I guess I still have the out of my opponent. Like, if I ponder into Force of Will here, my opponent can make infinite mana with that equipment that does that this turn, but I could force the output. Okay. Wait, is Reanimate good? I'm going to have 8 cards in my hand, and I'm going to play a land 7. Ponder is still 7. Okay, I'm not going to go to clean up and dump this a Storm Spinner. One of them's going away, though. And Tamio's window in this game has come and gone. I am, unfortunately, going to have to reveal that I'm Grixis here. Volcanic Island, Ponder. Those are the lands. It's not the Force of Will, though. I can attack with a 5/5 double strike next turn, but there's not going to be a next turn. All right, I'm going to shuffle. Hit a land. I guess we will at least see what their payoff is. These fiddly creature decks are normally phenomenal matchups for Grixis decks because you just have so many counters and removal, but catastrophic run bads can override that. They went for Nile Spellbomb instead, which means they have the combo set up already. They still do have to think about Force of Will. I haven't had it yet. Nature's Rhythm for 2. Right, so this is lethal, but I'll make you have it. Like the Nature's Rhythm, they can get the Vizier of Remedies, untap Devoted Druid infinitely, and then Rhythm from the graveyard. I just want to see what their win actually is, though I know they can tutor whatever they want here. And they could get something like Shalai and make their creatures infinitely large. There's, I don't know, there's a lot of things that could happen here. They get something that tutors. All right. Nature's Rhythm for 5. Voice of Victory. Okay. You're already good to go, but might as well cover your bases. That means they have a second way to send the combo in hand. They might just be holding Walking Ballista. That's what it looks like with the amount of mana they're making. All right. Walking Ballista it is. Unsatisfying, but I'm not going to feel bad about that. I looked at 10 cards, 11 cards, and missed on a 19 outer. And that just doesn't happen very often, and that's Magic the Gathering sometimes, but you don't have to adjust how you play based on that. I guess the Moon is kind of interesting, but they have all those Birds of Paradise and stuff. All right, I want Goyfs and Bowmasters to apply pressure. I like my interaction. I don't think I need Reanimate here. I don't think I need Nile Spellbomb or Cling to Dust. Graveyard doesn't really seem to be where their energy's coming from. Null Rod could turn off the equipment. I can't remember the name of it, but there's an equipment that comes out of Urza Saga that pops off with Devoted Druid. Null Rod turns off the equipment payoff or Walking Ballista, but they can still just make a 100/100 Walking Ballista and pass the turn. I don't think that's how I'm supposed to fight this matchup. I'm going to cut Demonic Ruckus. I think that's the worst of my payoffs. Not having haste is whack. Though this does make Barrogoyf unbeatable. Hold on, reconsidering. Ironically, this is a matchup where I think cutting a basic land is fine. I'm just a little shook from the game we just played. Though I do think that is probably the correct thing to do. Nethergoyf applies some pressure, but it's mostly just a Big O, and I'm bringing in a bunch of other Big Os. All right. Nethergoyf's out. This stuff is in. Oh no. Deck, please. Mulligan. I will keep. And I'm going to put Basic Island on the bottom. Right, Volcanic Island, Dragon's Rage Channeler. Surprise, my deck has spells in it. Windswept Heath. Birds of Paradise. Tamio. That's pretty decent. I could develop Tamio and Surveil here, or I could Scalding Viper, bounce the bird, get a Surveil, see what next turn looks like. I think I want a tempo here. I'm going to bounce the bird and get a Surveil. If they're fetching Basic Forest in their 3-color deck, let's try to punish that a little bit. Dumped an extra land. Saga. Clock sticking to a combo piece. Bird is back. Okay, I can play that next turn. I think I want to just play out the creatures that I have now. I'll attack with Dragon's Rage Channeler, because that's happening. I could have played the tap land here and guaranteed a Euharis trigger. If, like, this turn they play Devoted Druid, maybe I mess that up. I think red's more important than black here. It's Scalding Viper in Viper mode, Tamio in Tamio mode. If they have Swift Reconfiguration, they can win without Summoning Sickness, or through Summoning Sickness. All the other ways the Devoted Druid does need to be active. Yeah, I think I actually should have played Thundering Falls tapped, developed Tamio, and leave Scalding Viper in exile to guarantee a shock. on the next turn cycle. And although they're an infinite combo deck, their deck does not involve infinite spells being cast. I think Scalding Viper is going to do like 2 or 3 this game. Well, there's one. Devoted Druid's in. And yep, that is the spot where you Harris with something out of exile would have been good. Okay, I'm going to attack with everybody, then I'm going to brainstorm and hope I find a lightning bolt to save me. Okay, it's blocks right now. Can I get myself to Delirium? Probably not, but I'm going to take a swing. Ponder is more looks at Lightning Bolt, which is the only card that matters right now. So I will leave Ponder. On top, Thoughtseize does not help me. I'm going to put back Thundering Falls, and I think I got to get rid of Spider-Man here. Oh, I should have stacked that the other way. Dang it. I forgot I had a Surveil. I have not played this game particularly well. Ponder is going to dump Spider-Man, unfortunately, because I stacked my stuff wrong, but I just do need to keep this moving. That's a shuffle. Lightning Bolt? Ponder. All right, we're going again. Ponder. Show me Lightning Bolt. Volcanic Island to the graveyard. Oh no. Brazen Borrower, but I'm a mana short. Shuffle. Scalding Tarn. All right, well, we're dead. And because I was still had so many looks at Lightning Bolt, I had to tap the black instead of the red, and now I can't even Thoughtseize the payoff. Okay, so they got Retrofitter Foundry instead of the equipment. So they have it already some way. All right, Voice of Victory, take 1. All right, and all right, I'm going to pass here. I can technically win through infinite 4/4s. So I'm not going to concede until they actually kill me. Like they have to A, assemble the thing, and then B, decide on a number of Retrofitter Foundries they want to make, or creatures they want to make with Retrofitter Foundry. Their creatures don't have haste, and I do have a bunch of flying and burn in my deck. I'm really not just being petty here and trying to time that out. I just have not lost the game yet. I will scoop as soon as I'm dead. Zenith for 5. Right Glass Gear Hulk, my beloved! Alright, so this will get Walking Ballista, then I can concede safely. Insidious Fungus. Alright. GG. Alright, so I actually messed that one up by not... I didn't think about the implications of the shock well enough, and I actually had a guaranteed answer to Devoted Druid there and didn't take it. On to the next round. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables. In this YouTube series, hosts Patrick Sullivan and Patrick Chapin go set by set through Magic's past, leveraging their decades of experience as Pro Tour players and game designers to analyze the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a deep dive into the facts, mechanics, cycles, trivia, decks of the time, and historical context of the set. The hosts dig into notable cards of the era and their lasting impact today. Each set gets an award show where the hosts pick their favorite cards for categories such as Best, Worst, and Weirdest. And finally, give a letter grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. I'm on the play in round 4, my hand's full of good legacy cards. I'm going to cast Ponder, looking for some way to win the game. I don't want all these lands. Do I want 2 of these lands? No. I'm going to shuffle. Another Snapcaster. Ancient Tomb, Lotus Petal, Fable. I do not want to play against Fable the Mirror Breaker. I'm going to force that pitching Snapcaster. Okay. I am going to pass here. Brazen Borrower can kind of time walk anything a red Stompy deck might do in a turn. Okay, your Boros Stompy, even better. Chalice is not fine, but I can just bounce it, so whatever. I'm going to get Basic Island in case Blood Moon is coming. Petty Theft your Chalice. And I'm going to Brainstorm while I still can. I could Cling to Dust first. That's also not really going anywhere. Alright, Cling to Dust targeting Fable. Demonic Ruckus. Alright, I can plot that in the future. Or I can plot it now. Alright, Brainstorm. Ooh, alright, well... Thoughtseize is bad. I can actually plot Ruckus and do big Uharis business next turn. It's that or bolt their face. Yeah, I have to commit to the plot now if I'm doing it. But I can do that anytime in the future as well. Okay, I think I'm just going to hold up Lightning Bolt. If they replay the Chalice, then I can bolt them in response. If they like hit their land drop and play something bigger, if it's like Caves of Chaos Adventure, maybe I'd rather kill that. Seasoned Dungeoneer I can't kill anyway. But that does give me another turn of developing. Tutor for a Mountain. Okay, end step Bolt you. Drawing Snapcaster. So Snap Bolt plays pretty well here. Yeah, not being able to give Spider-Man haste is stinky. But I have Brazen Borrower and Snap Bolt available. My top card is Thoughtseize. I could also Snap Cling if I just want to draw through the Thoughtseize. I don't think that would be outrageous. We'll see what they do. If they pile onto Forge and try to race me, I might have to go bolting. They see the Brazen Borrower, so they know that I have the ability to challenge the initiative. They just don't know how yet. All right, moment of truth. Am I Snap Bolting, or am I getting Brazen Borrower in the game, or am I Snap Clinging and trying to get Uharis happening? I think I'm actually going to Snap Cling. Cling to Dust. Exile Lotus Petal and draw a card. Yeah, I am behind, and they have more cards in hand, but I'm trying to set up a cool turn here, if I'm allowed. Oh my goodness. Opponents also got spiders in the deck. Macd and Itala, Sky Snarers. Flying 2/2, artifacts and creatures opponents control enter tapped. That is Spider Woman or Spider Girl in real Magic. Opponent's got 11 damage on board right now, and I have 12 life. And they're still casting spells. Disappointing. Okay. So Brazen Borrower would have been a lot better here, in hindsight. I don't know that I can win anymore. Yeah, that one's not it. All right. GG. Okay, Barrogoyf is in, Hydroblast is in, Consign to Memory's in, Cling to Dust, Nile Spellbomb. It's not been a good league for those cards. Lightning Bolt is actually pretty mid too. Like, a lot of their creatures are big and they're going to have Chalices. Chalice is pretty bad for my deck in general. I have 3 ways to bounce it and 6 ways to counter it. Might just have to put my faith in that. Reanimate's dope if I can get one of their creatures. Oh, the Ruckus was so close to having a game there where it was good. Nethergoyf's good because it's big. Dragon's Rage Channeler is good because it exists. It's just there. Thoughtseize. On the play, I think I like it well enough. Ponder can be too slow for matchups like this. I'm going to shave 1 Ponder. Deck, please. 1/3 of this deck is lands. Mulligan. Okay. I have Force of Will, which I value. I have Barrogoyf, which I value. I am going to keep and put, I think, Snapcaster Mage to the bottom. It's Snapcaster Mage or Spider-Man. It's whichever one I'd rather not pitch. And I'm putting Snapcaster on the bottom. If I have to force, it's Spider-Man that gets the toss. If they introduce the initiative, Distortion Strike gets to take it 2 turns in a row, and I get my second land online, guaranteed. My opponent's on 6, Dragon's Rage Channeler. Force and Distortion Strike can both trigger Surveils as well as I look for that land. Cavern of Souls. Alright, Force looks worse now. Spirit Guide. Alright, well, I can't counter that human. Artifacts and creatures enter tapped for me. Lands don't. Hell yeah. Okay, I think I'm supposed to fetch Underground Sea and play Distortion Strike. Just trying to get going here. There's land number 3 for Barrogoyf. I'm in. Attack, this can't be blocked. I can shove Barrogoyf next turn with Force of Will in the mix. We got an I like it in the chat. Yeah, it's not really doing what it's supposed to, but I like it too. My Barrogoyf enters tapped because of this Spider Lady. I get to rebound this. I Surveil again, but I still want the card on top. Right, leave Polluted Delta on top. And I'll attack for 1 that cannot be blocked. And now we're on that Barrogoyf win the game for me life. I don't think my opponent has Blood Moon, though Magus of the Moon is an uncounterable human here. Fine, I'll get Basic Swamp. A tapped Barrogoyf. Currently 2/3. Force of Will would make it 3/4, whether the spell that's being cast is countered or not. I like how in the real set this is 1 person, or 1 being, but they had to justify why it's creature type is spider through the omen paths. I'm going to force this Fury. They had to give it a friend. They're like, actually, it's friends with a spider. That's why this works. They pitch Kraza the Swarm is 1. So that is Spider Punk in the real world. Other spiders have Riot. This has Riot. Spells and abilities can't be countered. Damage can't be prevented. Awkward that they had to pitch Kraza, aka Spider Punk, to play the spell that then ended up getting countered. And now with a creature in the graveyard, Barrowgoyf's bigger than Fury. At least 3 spider people featured in this match so far. Seasoned Dungeoneer. They're in the entrance. They've got a Plains. And it's my turn. Wow, that's good. Okay. I'll reanimate Fury and ruin their life. Kaplow! I'll put this land in the graveyard. Don't need those where we're going. If they have a Solitude to pitch here, they can maintain the initiative. 4 damage to Seasoned Dungeoneer. And I am going to attack with both, because if they want to maintain the initiative and just chump block Barrowgoyf, that's fine. If they want to trade or let Barrowgoyf through in exchange for this, I'm fine with that too. We got Basic Island, Barrowgoyf mills 4, and misses. All right. Reckless Charge is in there, though. That's got a lot of damage next turn. All right, F6, go nuts. Barrowgoyf is 5/6 now. Demonic Ruckus is in there as a weird type. We have all the normal ones plus enchantment. Sweet. All right, Big Bash. The Distortion Strike was part of that game. I'm not going to say it was extremely important, but it was part of the game. Now we're on the draw, where Chalice of the Void is a lot scarier. I could bring in a Meltdown. Meltdown also kills Chrome Moxin, those sort of things. I think Thoughtseize is worse on the draw, and I'll add 1 Meltdown. Just make that little change. I am very concerned about this matchup, though. Oh, hold on. No, don't go. I am cutting all my Thoughtseizes to get Lightning Bolts back in, because we've now seen Spider Punk and whatever, Spider Woman, Spider Girl, whatever that other one is. If this was not Swamp, I would be interested in this hand. Like, if I could cast Dragon's Rage Channeler and or Brainstorm, I think I would keep this hand with any land other than Swamp. As it stands, I'm going to have to mulligan. Yuck. This just won't beat this deck. There's just no version of the world where this hand is good. Going to 5. All right, going to keep this. I'll put Underground Sea, and it's probably Meltdown if we're being real, which is a shame because Meltdown rips. It might be Tameo. Actually, yeah, I'm putting Tameo on the bottom. Because if my opponent does something like powers out a Chalice off of a Chrome Mox, that's quite good. Hydroblast is obviously just the best thing I have going on. Reckless Charge. All right, am I more worried about Goblin Shaman or Fable? I have to Hydroblast something here. I think it's Fable. Yeah, play draw coming in huge here with Hydroblast involved. Unfortunately, they are still showing the potential for 4 mana, which is where everything gets worse for me. Archon of Emeria. Well, that does make my land enter tapped. Mountain is more important than Swamp, and I pretty much have to play on basics here. Depends on their follow-up right now. If they have like some big creature, I probably can't come back, but if they don't, this becomes competitive. Yeah, that qualifies as a big creature, I dare say. This also keeps their mana going. It kills their City of Traders, but they do get to keep developing here. It's not like they can't play if they lose their treasures anymore. All right, Spider Bro. If I end step Petty Theft, Archon of Emeria, and then Spider Bro haste it up, this could be something. All right, hoping for the best here. Hopefully they put the stats on Archon, but that doesn't make a lot of sense. Wow, good news, everyone. We're in. That does play around Lightning Bolt. Unfortunately, I know they can replay this thing. So this is 3, 7, 8, 9 damage. Cavern of Souls going into their hand. Yeah, I have to take this damage, because I can't play Spider-Man plus Reckless Charge next turn. Okay. End step fetch for basic mountain. Mountain, Petty Theft, Archon of Emeria. I am just dead here, but I'm gonna make my stand. God dang it. Oh, I have Vigilance, but they have protection from creatures. All right, draw for turn. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Fetch. I need a red source to cast Reckless Charge with. We'll get Volcanic Island. And then you harass the Storm Spinner. Attacks for 10. Surely that 7-card hand doesn't have a Solitude or Swords to Plowshares or anything in it. And the twisted joke is it doesn't need to. All right, Swords to Plowshares, GG. Yeah, that would be a bad matchup even if this deck was constructed optimally, like without any fun, silly stuff on the fringes. Like these matchups are just tough. On to the next one. We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw in the final round. Handful of legacy cards again. Let's go. Hold up. Trusty old Grixis. Maybe my opponent will just cast Entomb and pass the turn. That's my dream. Another Cavern of Souls. That's a lot of those in this league. We've seen it on Wizard, we've seen it on Human. Now it's on Cat. Ocelot Pride. Well, my hand is set up for this. Just a little lightning bolt for you. And I could reanimate that Ocelot Pride if I want to. It's live. Wasteland's disappointing. But if we both have Ocelot Prides... Okay, looks like just I have Ocelot Pride. I probably want to ponder here off of Basic Island. Let's not get too rowdy. Ponder. Polluted Delta, Thoughtseize, and another Spider-Man. I'll take them. Another Wasteland played around it. Do they have the Ajani? They do indeed. Alright, Ajani's there. Yeah, I could Thoughtseize my opponent. I know I don't want the Spider-Man top of my deck. I have to play on basics here. Ocelot Pride does kind of just beat Ajani. Thoughtseizing them is appealing to me, though. Yeah, I could reanimate in the future. I can reanimate anytime. Swamp. Thoughtseize you. Guide of Souls. Hylia, Guided by Light, and Felia. None of these are cats. I suppose Guide of Souls is the scariest one. Yeah, this is a Soul Warden that draws cards if you gain 3 life in a turn. Felia is really good, but I have Force of Will. Dogs are literally not the opposite of cats. I'm going to take Guide of Souls. That one's the most mana efficient if life goes on. Access to a basic mountain would be insane here. There's Plains. They have unlocked their special move, which is more cards. Okay, it's not a basic mountain, but it is turn 4. I could play Spider-Man plus Reanimate here. Spider-Man doesn't actually help, though. I mean, it's a 2/3, so I got that. Yeah, I think I do want to go Spider-Man plus Reanimate. Yeah, it's just a big enough creature to hang. And I think I would rather have Ocelot Pride than Guide of Souls. The first strike matters, the lifelink matters. I'll take that. This makes Felia a must counter because they can flicker out Ocelot Pride and it's theirs. But I was prepared to force the Felia when I Thoughtseize them. Yep, there's that. And their last card is Hylia, Guided by Light. If they just cast her as 3/3, that's pretty big, and I got work in front of me. But that is a turn of not wasting landing me. Okay, they're going to take 3 damage in order to make sure they can wasteland me. Fair enough. So they gain a life here. They're not going to gain enough life to go off. Wasting me's pretty good. All right, didn't attack with Cat Warrior. Living in Fear. Underground Sea doesn't help me play the game. So I am going to run it out. All right, I'm going to pass. I am missing a color. They're top decking. We're basically both top decking here where nobody can do anything. And whoever finds something worth doing first is going to be favored. Interesting. This isn't a cat, is it? It's a human soldier. My creatures all have first strike, so if I get blown out by a removal spell here, that's fine, but if they just counted bad, I'll take it. Alright, cool. Their creature died, and I'm at 12. I have first strike and double strike on all these creatures. Basic combat words. Polluted Delta. Would I rather spend a turn surveilling or get Dragon's Rage Channeler down now? I'd rather surveil. If I attack with Uharis, they could flip a Johnny, but that's a wash moving forward. Yeah, all right, double strike, Vigilance attacking you. If they come up with a red permanent this turn, it'll start to hurt. But right now I'm ahead. All right, they have a Johnny with 3 loyalty. Making a 2 on cat every turn doesn't beat the Ocelot Pride or the double striker. Planes from hand. Made a 2-1 cat. I think we're squeezing ahead here. I mean, them throwing the biggest creature on the board into the graveyard for no value, obviously, huge deal for me. I'll take Brainstorm, and I'm going to play Dragon's Rage Channeler, and I'm going to cast Brainstorm. Binning DRC here gives me Delirium, I'll take it. The Ruckus! Is Ruckus even good? Not really. I mean, Menace and Trample, I can just hardcast that and get a lot of value. Alright, I guess that's where we're going. I'm going to attack a Johnny Nakatl Avenger with both of my creatures. Blocking the bigger one. Alright, Cat dies, the Johnny's down. End step, Ocelot Pride triggers. Starting to do stuff. Caracas. Oh no, Uharis, why? Okay, at this point, I think I have enough going on that that's not going to beat me. Alright. Okay, so we had a combat blunder that broke the game open for me when it was otherwise close. Those things can happen. Barrowgrave Bowmaster coming in, just bodies. Hydroblast can kill flip to Johnny, though the mana that I saw there, I'm not convinced that they have red permanents in their deck. Voice of Victory can create red permanents, but I'm not going to Hydroblast them. Literally can't. If at any time there is a Voice of Victory token into play, then I can't cast Hydroblast because Voice of Victory is in play. Alright, we're gonna just kind of offer these graveyard hate spells. I've boarded them out, I think, 4 of the 5 rounds. That's not indicative of the format at large, but it is how this league has gone. I like Thoughtseize, Reanimate, fun little tool. There will be creatures in graveyards in this matchup. Bolt's great. Reckless Charge could do a lot. I'm a little worried about Spider-Man having seen Caracas. Just like a Caracas turns off all of this. I'm going to shave down on one just out of respect for that. It's either board out some of my Spider-Men or bring in Magus of the Moon, specifically to answer Caracas, which I don't think I want to do versus the deck sporting a large number of basic planes. Tameo and Spider-Man are both worse. Force of Will is mid if they have large numbers of caverns. All right, I'm going to go -1 force, and this is my plan. This white life gain deck is really good versus fair decks. Once they start going wide, I don't have a lot of ways to recuperate. Caracas. And Guide of Souls. All right, Guide of Souls. I would have forced Ocelot Pride there. Guide of Souls, I think I can let breathe for a turn or two. Okay. I think I want to cast Dragon's Rage Channeler. I can't fetch basics, so I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm going to try to get on this board. Wasteland, Ocelot Pride. I will force that, which will surveil one. Brainstorm. I will keep that on top. It will be useful at some point. Volcanic Island's dead. Guide of Souls gets to fight. Will not block. I'm going to invest the Thundering Falls here. I'll keep the land on top. And this is the turn. Can they waste me again? Can they add something significant to the board? What's the follow-up? Another Wasteland. I kept the land in case this could happen. But if they waste me, it means they're not casting a 2-drop. Okay, they decided to resolve Felia in the main phase instead of wasting me or waiting. Felia's quite good, and right now, in this moment, and potentially no future moment, they're tapped out of Caracas to save Felia. Yeah, I guess I'm just going to lead on Brainstorm here. Looking for Lightning Bolt. Found it. Immediately paid. Good news, everybody. Okay, I'm going to put back one of the Underground Seas, and I think Reckless Charge has to go. Fetch. I'm leaning in. I can already get Wastelanded. Lightning Bolt right now. Thoughtseize. That does not give me Delirium, but I also don't want to draw it. Alright, yeah, Thoughtseize to the graveyard. Belly is dead. Attack with Channeler. That was clutch. Another Guide of Souls. Didn't waste me yet. Alright, I'm going to play a second Dragon's Rage Channeler, and then Underground Sea, And I'm going to pass. If they waste Underground Sea, I have Brazen Borrower, which creates 2 Surveils, which might give me Delirium mid-combat if I hit an enchantment or a creature. I don't think I have any artifacts in the deck right now. Cavern on Human. Sanctifier Envec. That's nasty. All right, that'll exile Thoughtseize and Lightning Bolt from graveyards. All right. Tough crowd. I do like that card, though, in this metagame. I'm playing it in Blue-White Blink. They should waste me before combat here, but if they don't, I'll bounce whatever they target with their Guide of Souls. Like if they do gas up one of the boys here, I'll bounce it. They can't gas up both. Like I can literally just double block one of these. And then what? Okay, now I have an interesting choice. I could double block Guide of Souls, let damage resolve, or double block Guide of Souls, bounce Sanctifier, see what happens. I could also bounce Sanctifier now and maybe kill both of these things. Yeah, I guess I'm going to bounce Sanctifier. Blue to Delta, I don't want that. Swamp, I don't want that either. All right, well, we're not getting Delirium here. But I am going to double block one of these. If they have Solitude, I guess you got me. Okay. That card's very scary to know that they have it. Lightning Bolt. That will not defeat the Sanctifier. I could take out this Guide of Souls. I think I'm going to do that. Just go for it. I'm not interested in lands anymore. I've given up. I have no faith that lands will be important to me. All right, go. I'm all in. Brazen Borrower versus Sanctifier Envec. Dual decks. Who would win? Right, there's Sanctifier. Right, land. Even with a good Surveil, I can't get Delirium here. Right, they're still racing. Committed to the grind. I have almost double my life total. Johnny's quite strong. All right, end step, Brazen Borrower. And I'll fetch the other Surveil land that I have. Thundering Falls. Demonic Ruckus. Interesting. Menace and Trample. I'll keep that. If I hit Dragon's Rage Channel with that, it's a 2/2 Menace. That would kill a Johnny if it were to get into the red zone. Alright, I'll try it. Thoughtseize to the graveyard, or Thoughtseize into exile, as the case may be. Attack with both. Opponent's at 16. Hilariously, Demonic Ruckus has this line of text: when this aura is put into the graveyard, draw a card, but it won't go to the graveyard. The Sanctifier Envec just crushing me in every direction. I'm on a 2-turn clock, they're on a 4, and I can't interact with one of their permanents. They can also bounce and replay a Johnny over and over to just spam Cat Warriors, which does appear to be the plan. Orcish Bowmaster. I don't think that helps me, but I will attack with Brazen Borrower, because I can't block. Dragon's Rage Chandler can block. Wasteland, jeez. Skyclave Apparition. Alright, GG. GG. Sanctifier Envec, coast to coast. Alright, what can I do about that? Anything? Not really. I could bring Magus of the Moon back into this. Like, if Wastelands and Cavern of Souls are their mana base, and Caracas is, could be worth a shot. Escape Velocity is a lot worse if they have Sanctifiers in their deck. I'm going to try to counter those if I see them, but that's really hard to beat. Yeah, Thoughtseize checking their hand before that thing can come down might be important. I think Escape Velocity's got to go. Or is Reckless Charge worse than Velocity? I think it might be. They're pretty comparable from hand, and in the graveyard, they're both irrelevant in the face of hate. Alright, I'll keep. Not an ideal situation for Wasteland, but it's never going to be. Ponder. Okay. Land in a Ponder. I'll take them. At least I'm on the play here. If they're wasting me, it means they're not doing anything else, and I can just take my time developing. At the top of my deck is Dragon's Rage Channeler right now. I'm going to Thundering Falls, and I think bin that. I'm on that Race to Barrowglyph life here. Plains. Snapcaster. Ponder. Okay. I don't have any black mana here. Snap Ponder is live eventually. Alright. Don't shuffle. Play Volcanic Island. Oh, I should plot this fucking thing. Hell yeah. It's plot time, baby! I have not lost the plot. Plot armor. Plotting along. Bad news is I have to Force of Will almost anything that my opponent does. I'm going to Snap Ponder. That's what I kept this hand or kept this ponder in order to do. We're going another round with it. Ponder, I'm looking for black mana, especially if it's basic. Velia. Do I want that involved in the game? Is this where I want to put a Force of Will? Alright, I will force Velia. That card's scary enough. Okay. Access to basic Swamp and another Barrogoyf now in the bank. I'm saving that plot thing. If I find a Spider-Man, that's a lightning bolt I can send around somewhere. If Barrogoyf stays in play for a turn, I can make it unbeatable. Cavern on Angel. Starfield Shepherd. Okay, there can't be that many angels in the deck. Like, I feel like that Cavern just basically sacrificed itself for one card. Guide of Souls is in. Obviously attacking. This is worth Guide of Souls all day. Basic Swamp. Big Barrow. Trample and Menace also let Barrogoyf push through Sanctifier. Haste is not one of the words on that thing that I just didn't cast. Voice of Victory. Alright, yep, that is scary, but my hand doesn't have instants in it at the moment anyway. Oscillate Pride, so that is going to trigger. Ugh. Alright, they had the Plow. Now it's starting to get scary. Brazen Borrower. Okay, this can bounce nothing because I need Barrogoyf in play. Yeah, this game is not going to happen without Barrogoyf involved, and I'm just going to cast this guy and pass. Spider-Man's actually a sick draw next turn, because then I would get the plot value. Like, I want to plot onto the Barrogoyf anyway. That could pick off Voice of Victory. I think that's the card I'm worried about. We're casting another Angel. It's the same Angel. This can tutor a basic Plains or a 1-drop creature. A second Osla Pride gets the combo going. They might just have so many tokens that they don't care about Trample Menace on Barrogoyf. Tutored Osla Pride. And these are going to double the double. And they can give Voice of Victory flying here. So they're going to get 4 cats. Or no, it's more than that. Each cat is going to make 4 cats. And then they're going to get like 16 warriors. Or 8 warriors. Some huge amount of warriors. And only these warriors have sacrificed this. The ones that Osla Pride copies will not. Why am I being allowed to? Oh, I can block these. Right. Okay, never mind. I can at least stop those warriors from joining the party. I was confused why I was being prompted to block versus this flying creature. Can mitigate that a little bit. All right, here come all the cats. All right, I can play cards on my own turn. Demonic Ruckus. Menace Trample, so that would be a 5/6 Menace Trample. They have way more cats than that even covers. I could reanimate Snapcaster, target Ponder, try to find another useful card. I guess that's what I have to do here. Reanimate Snapcaster, target Ponder. Don't even have time for the reanimate Snapcaster, snap reanimate play. Lightning Bolt's pretty solid as far as cards go. Alright, don't shuffle, play my land. Ruckus on the Barrogoyf, 5/6 Menace Trample, and I can interact with 2 things in combat. Blocked with 6 cats, blocked with 7 cats. That is unfortunately the right number. If I kill 2 of these cats, then they have no cats, but they get them back immediately. Yeah, this game is not winnable. I'll fetch Underground Sea. Is there a way to get another card type in the graveyard while I'm doing stuff here? There's already a creature. There's already an instant. I'll bounce a cat. I'll bolt a cat. And then I'll just die next turn. Alright, I'm at 24. And pass the turn. Yeah, all those cats just come back. This is so hopeless. I don't have like a Toxic Deluge in the deck. And I guess if I draw Spider-Man... No, like Voice of Victory is 3/5 at this point. Even if I do get to play Spider-Man, play Brazen Borrower, deal 3 to something, that's not going to be good enough. And they're at 5 now, 5 mana, where the Starfield Shepherds can start coming into play from Warp. This is a real deck in the metagame, by the way. My opponent's deck, if you haven't seen this in action, this is what it does. And I've been seriously considering sweepers in my sideboard for that reason. My Barrogoyf survives because of Demonic Ruckus. 1/2, sucker. I can't win this game. You got me. Okay, that was Grixis Spider-Man 2099 / Uharis the Storm Spinner. I think this deck is stuck on the gap between two identities, and it would be better served to pick one or the other. I mentioned at the top that there might be an Is It Blitz deck, where we just play slick shot show-offs, lava darts, things like that. Really lean into the I'm going to get you all at once type of thing. The other one is if we get rid of cards like Dragon's Rage Channeler and Nethergoyf, and probably trim down the specific turn on Spider-Man cards quite a bit, and play actual Grixis control, where there is no blitz package. Like, we're never going to have a Dragon's Rage Channeler or a Nethergoyf beating down early, but with 3 or 4 Snapcaster Mages, and then like Kolaghan's Commands or Flame of Anors or something like that, where we get to go deep into the late game and then start triggering Storm Spinner then with just Snapcaster cards we were going to play anyway. I don't think the Grixis control build really leverages this card to its maximum, because it's so much cooler if you're actually using the double strike on it and using the caring about its power part. Like, if you're just Grixis control and every end step you get to shock something, that's not that sexy. We could do better than that with other cards. So I think I want to just cut all the black, have great mana, have lots of burn, have lots of plot. Demonic Ruckus had kind of the highest upside. I mean, the one game where I got to escape velocity onto a new Spider-Man was huge. We did win that game, and it was awesome to do it. But it didn't happen very often. And more often we were trying to play Grixis mid-range, but we had a random Distortion Strike or Reckless Charge in the way, or multiple Spider-Men in hand that we couldn't play until turn 4. Cool card. We got to see the potential a few times in this league, and I would like to harness that potential more with a just pure Is It Kiln Fiend, Blitz You, pseudo prowess. Not really prowess, but maybe we could borrow from the modern prowess shell a little bit. I think that's the direction forward for Spider-Man 2099 / Uharis. Sweet deck, though. I am playing this literally as soon as Through the Omen Paths came online for Magic Online. I was refreshing the bots, trying to wait for 3 of these things to get in stock. Brand new set. I'm excited to be on the ground running with this one. CC Ant-Man, thank you for the league. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon to support the channel. I'll see you next time.